What it is, yo. We are back with another Top 5 exclusive here at MacGuffinPodcast.com. I'm Alan.
I am Brandi.
And today on our Top 5s, we are going to be talking about our top 5 heroines.
Specifically badass heroines.
Badass heroines, yes. A couple weeks ago, we talked about female villains. Now we're going to flip the script a little bit and talk about some heroines that are badass.
Before we get into my list, I have a disclaimer, because I know people would like to yell in the comments. So I made a top 5 of like the most iconic, like first 5 that popped in my head, and then I threw it away because I felt like they were all like people I talked about before, and I just did another 5 that I just felt like talking about. So
okay, I kind of sort of did that. I do have some pretty obvious ones in mind, but I also think I have a few surprises.
All right.
Did you want to start off this time?
Sure. Okay,
right.
My number 5, maybe not a super surprising one. It is Michelle Yeoh in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon as usual. I love that movie. I know that it's kind of like, now it's like trendy to not like that movie anymore. It's like people are like over it. Yeah, they're like, oh, it's not that good, whatever. I still think it's that good. I still think she is like even more the core of it than Chow Yun-fat's character is. Like, she is the axis that other characters move around, and she just has to stay completely in control the whole time while there's all sorts of craziness going on around her, and the fight scenes are awesome. I love the showdown between her character and Jen, Zhang Zi's character. I love all the fight scenes, but especially that one. And yeah,
I mean,
badass.
that's a great pick. I mean, yeah, you could say whatever you want about that film, but I completely agree with you. I think, I mean, she's been around for so long, doing so many great things.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick. There's other movies you could definitely pick Michelle Yeoh out of.
So moving on to my number 5. My number 5 is actually a surprise. It is Michelle Yeoh.
What?
Dang it! I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be creative this time. Yeah, see, Michelle Yeoh
oh, okay.
Number
But you just picked the actress.
But I picked the actress, yes. So I mean, we can run down the list. You mentioned Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Super Cop, I thought she was great, you know, teaming up with Jackie Chan, and in Tomorrow Never Dies, kind of one-upping James Bond in that film. I mean, just the way she does martial arts, her whole presence, the way she handles situations, she's just an incredible actress, and not just because of, you know, that she can kick butt, but she's also very good, you know, in emoting and, you know, giving off performance and everything like that.
She's a great actress.
Very, very good. Yeah. So Michelle Yeoh, number 5.
Woo! Nice synergy there.
I know. Great minds think alike.
All right. My number 4. This character is only in this movie for a small amount of time, but I wanted to talk about this scene because it is the absolute crystal of how to be extremely badass. Like, first she comes in and she's going up against this guy, and he's running his mouth. She has all these quips back, and then he just takes it one step too far, and she kicks shit out of him. And that is Chiaki Kuriyama as Chigusa in Battle Royale.
Oh, okay.
Again, like, this is just like one scene in the middle of the movie that has, you know, like 40 characters, but it is my favorite scene out of the movie. This kid comes up to her and is like, "Oh, you don't want to die a virgin, do you?" And she's like, literally like, what is this idiot saying to me right now? And then he won't let it go. And then as soon as he starts playing the rape card, she kills that motherfucker. Right. And it is a very satisfying moment in a movie that is full of not so satisfying moments, because there are a lot of very disconcerting deaths in there. And just like the absolute masterclass in how to write a badass scene, I think.
Okay, I mean...
and then the actress, of course, went on to play Go-Go in Kill Bill Volume 1.
Ah, okay. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty badass heroine right there. I kind of agree with you. Don't really love that film, but it's
got good things and
good things,
not so good
not
things.
So good things. Yeah, but I mean,
it's very interesting.
Overall, yeah, that's a good choice. My number 4 heroine is badass, not in the traditional sense, just given the situation that she's in. It's Frances McDormand as Marge Gunderson in Fargo. I mean, if you can stop 2 criminals and figure out this whole like thing that's going on in that film while being pregnant, that's pretty badass if you ask me. Just
being pregnant makes you really stupid, so yeah.
Well, I mean, she has like, come on, that's not exactly what I was trying to get at, but I think you know what I mean. Now I completely lost my place because you just called me out. But it's a great performance by Frances McDormand. Just really go get 'em kind of attitude in that film. The scene where she finds Steve Buscemi and I'm sorry, I'm blanking out on the other guy. In the woods, in the snow. It's
Peter Stormare.
Yeah, Peter Stormare, thank you. It's a very harrowing scene, but she was able to, come out on top. It's a great role, great performance, great film. Yeah. I mean, what else can you say?
She's very badass. I agree.
Yep.
My number 3, from a movie that I know both Spencer and I have talked about a lot on the podcast, maybe not for a little while though, that is Serenity, and it is not River Tam. I want to talk about Zoe. I think that Gina Torres as Zoe in the show and on the in the film, she is so cool. She's just like the coolest person. And River is obviously super badass, but it's because of something that was done to her. It's kind of like a switch that gets turned on that she doesn't necessarily have control over, whereas Zoe is in complete control all the time. And she just schools everyone. And I love Gina Torres. I think she should be a huge, huge star and stop having to play like supporting roles on random cable shows. But yeah, I just wanted to say, Zoe, you're awesome.
She was badass on Alias too.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched Alias, but she was badass on Alias too, apparently.
Cool. Yeah, I really need to get around to saying that. I've seen Serenity. I liked it a lot. Firefly is on my queue. I just need to get some time to watch it. But definitely I will get there. So moving on to my number 3. Now from 3 to number 1, we're going to get to the traditional ones for me, the ones that come first into your mind. My number 3 heroine is Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling in Silence of the Lambs. The thing about Clarice Starling is that not only is she a badass, but she's not even a full FBI agent at the time of this film. She's a trainee, so...
She's a badass in training still.
She's badass already, but she's a FBI trainee, just surrounded in this world that's, completely dominated by men. I mean, in every scene you can see, like, these looks that the men give her, like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Even her commanding officer is like, let's not talk about this gruesome, serial killer in front of this woman. But, she perseveres, she makes it all the way to the end, and it's appropriate that she confronts, Buffalo Bill by herself, all alone in that basement, and she makes a great counterpoint to Anthony Hopkins' character. I mean, it's one of those great, iconic roles that everyone remembers. She, to me, is the heart of that film. Clarice Starling.
Jodie Foster does badass pretty well, too.
She does, yeah.
My number 2 is from a movie from last year that I liked a lot, and the thing I liked the most about it was the main actress's performance, and that is Hailee Steinfeld as Maddie Ross in True Grit. She's got the same kind of thing almost as Clarice times 10 because she's still a kid, right? She doesn't know exactly what she's getting herself into, but she knows she's capable of dealing with it. She just has to convince everyone else of it. And the way she talks her way into being on that journey to get the man who killed her father, and the way she everything plays out, she gets some super badass action at the end there too. It's a really impressive performance. It's one of my favorite characters in literature, completely like brought to life on the screen, which was really fun for me to watch, and I just loved everything about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great performance. It's kind of hard, like, with her performance, because she has to, like, toe this line where she's convincing but not annoying at the same time. And the way she completely just talks her way into this whole situation is really really impressive in how believable it is. I just can't wait to see what else that actress has in store for the future.
Agreed.
So... All right, moving on to my number 2. Again, it's another one that you probably already thought of. It's Linda Hamilton.
Yep.
As Sarah Connor from Terminator 2.
This
not
is one
Terminator
of the ones
1.
on my throwaway list.
Actually, the story of Sarah from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2 is pretty interesting. You know, in the first, she's kind of like this helpless female victim. Well, I don't know if victim's the right word, but she's like a damsel in distress or whatever. And then that
she does
whole
like
experience.
a lot of push-ups.
Yeah, she does a lot of push-ups, a lot of pull-ups. Goes a little crazy. But yeah, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, she's just really, really hardcore. Pretty much her entire existence is in preparation for, you know, Judgment Day and battling the machines and everything like that. She even goes out and tries to assassinate the person who's quote unquote responsible for the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, I would never want to run into that person on the street. So,
True.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 1. I feel like I've talked about this a lot lately because the series just came to an end. It's a big deal for me personally, and that is Hermione Granger in Harry Potter, the Harry Potter series. Really, like, just ridiculously badass from about the, like, first of all, it is great that she lets the character is written so that she never has to compromise any of the grating things about her personality that begin with, you know, like she's a know-it-all, blah, blah, blah. She matures and she learns to harness those things rather than like let it be abrasive to other people. But she never becomes like a typical movie character where she's just charming, you know? But from the moment in the 3rd movie when she punches Draco Malfoy in the face on, like, she is just like, nobody is messing with her and she will do anything to save humanity, basically. And they would never have made it without her. Like, there's no way that Ron and Harry would have made it to the end without her. Like, they would have died in the vault at Gringotts, if not multiple times before that, without her ingenuity and her magical skill. So
Sweet.
Whatever. Ultimate badass because she can do magic and she's super smart.
When Deathly Hallows Part 2 comes out on DVD, I will watch them all the way through so I can understand what you're talking about. Yeah.
You're getting so good at just nodding along when I'm talking about Harry Potter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Soon I'll understand.
Good point.
Yes. All right. So my number 1 badass heroine is the obvious choice. Yes, it is Uma Thurman as the bride from Kill Bill.
Okay,
please tell me you thought about this.
This was
one.
on my 5 throwaway list, but let me tell you what would have been a number 1 on that would have been Ripley. Yeah, totally.
I was going to mention Ripley.
Yeah, I had Sarah Connor, I had the bride, I had Princess Leia.
Yeah, I was going to think of that one.
Yeah, and something else.
Okay, well, to me, the obvious choice was Uma Thurman from Kill Bill. I mean, she gets betrayed on her wedding day.
Marion. She
gets shot in the head. She gets buried alive. I mean, she goes through all this adversity, and she still comes out being the total badass that she is. I mean, it's one of those few things where, for me, when it comes to a one character facing an entire group of people, taking them all down, very few times do I really believe that. Like, there's no way that this person can really, you know, go through all these people just mowing them down. But for Beatrix Kiddo, she's one of the few characters, male or female, that I was totally buying into. Loved her as the action person in the first one. The character development in the second one was really, really well done, in my opinion. The relationship between her and Bill at the end is just great. And then just that final scene with you know who, it's really, really touching. So
I think Uma Thurman does channeled rage really well, and that's like what carries the first film for me, which I like much better in conjunction with the second film. I'm totally behind this pick.
Cool. All right. Well, that does it for our top 5 badass heroines. If you have any badass heroines that you want to mention, I mean, we already mentioned a few already.
I'm already cheating.
Yeah, so please let us know at MacGuffinPodcast.com, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.